What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Simba Savvy podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is what we call the HBO special. Help a brother out special, guys. Engage with the channel. When you engage with the channel is going to grow. You understand? So hit the like button for your brother. For wasting more of your time, guys, we're going to have a very interesting episode today. Keke Palmer. I was actually shocked with her opinions when it comes to relationships. We're going to see what she has to say, right? Let's get into it.
Is it hard? Let me ask you, because we've been seeing this thing about the 50-50. Men and women go 50-50. Women say, I ain't going nothing. You tried to quote me, you go 100% or it's going to be nothing.
Hilarious.
More times than not, Keke. I mean, I look, you've been pretty private with your dating life, but a lot of time, I mean, now you've gone public with the guy that you had the child from. You make more money than him. How hard is it to date, that you find it to date someone like yourself and a man that doesn't make as much, if not more than you? Is that hard?
Yeah, I mean, I think I became a millionaire at 12. To expect everybody to have become a millionaire at 12 and learn money management and have a business manager at 12, to me just seems not realistic.
Right.
I started working 10, 15 years before most of my generation had their first job.
Right.
And this is like most, obviously, some people, different. But
First of all, don't do 50-50 relationship, guys. If you follow my channel and you listen to my advice, if you really want to be the man of the house who is respected, I feel like relationships work the best. I'm a traditional guy. I'm an African guy. Relationship work the best when we are in our natural gender roles. This whole new age of 50-50 and a man can do what a man can and a woman can do and all this shit, I do not subscribe to. I'm sorry.
no, I don't hold people to those standards. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, I feel like if I wanted somebody that made as much as me, this would be a date and not an interview. Because okay, so I feel like when it comes to guys our age, every now and then you might find somebody that's out there making it, but most of the time they're gonna be. My mom and dad, they went 50-50 all my life.
Right.
So when I hear some of the stuff that people are saying, you know what I'm saying, about relationships and dating, I'm just kind of like, I don't know how that's going to work, but maybe I'm tripping.
But how about this? Maybe the
My mom and dad went 50-50 my whole life, which is very normal in a black family, to be honest with you, all over Africa, even in the United States. Why? Because black families, we don't have money. Most of the times, mom and dad has to go to work to provide for the children, right? But I feel like, if you can as a man and you're making enough money, I feel like, it's best for the children to have a parent who watches over them at home rather than a nanny or someone else. When it's the mom who's at home watching the kids, I feel like there's so much more love, there's so much more discipline, and you as a guy can grind. I feel like that's a better dynamic for the kids.
guy that makes as much as you, more than you, you're not interested in.
Or is not interested in me. You know, it goes both ways.
Yes.
When you're basing things, I think, off of just totally financial or totally off of good looks
Right.
or totally off of whatever.
Right.
Your list becomes smaller and smaller and
Correct.
smaller and
Yes,
smaller.
yes.
And I also think, hey, you should have boundaries and limits. You can't, I'm too open. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You
Right.
might find yourself with John Joe that live on the corner.
Right.
You know, so there has to be some leeway just as much as there has to be some twiddling it down.
Right.
But I don't necessarily agree with, again, for everybody's lifestyle.
Right.
I don't need you to pay for everything.
The more standards you have, this whole, I know my worth, the smaller your list is going to be. And now your list is this small. Now, do these men who are in this very small percentage, they meet the height requirement, the income, they drive a certain car, they have a certain lifestyle, they look a certain way, they talk a certain way, do these men want you for a relationship? Because remember, sexual attraction and relationship attraction are two different things. Guys will sleep with you if you're attractive or if they find you attractive, regardless of who you are. Can you cook? Can you be a good mother? Guys don't care when it comes to sex. Guys can separate that. But in terms of a relationship, are the guys that you want or these standards that girls have, are these guys gonna want you? This is the number one question that you need to ask yourself. I can talk about how I want this girl to be a baddie and she has to look a certain way and be like this and that, right? But this 10 that I describe as a guy, is that are these type of girls looking for a guy like me who earns the money that I earn, who looks how I look? So you cannot be delusional in the dating marketplace. You have to know where you stand. And you have to know what is going to give you a headache and what's not. So this is what she's explaining, that I can have all these standards, but will those guys want me?
For me, I actually prefer you to not to. I'll let you know when I would like for you to
Right.
spend something.
We go half on something.
We can go half on something possibly, but I feel really like there's so much more that I would be looking forward to bring to the table than just what's in your pockets. I would look for you to provide things that I can't provide for myself.
So that's true that, she's looking for a guy who can provide what she can. She's a millionaire already. Probably she wants companionship. She wants a guy who can make her laugh. She wants a guy who's attractive. For her, providing is not really a problem. But then these kind of dynamics, I feel like, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but there are certain guys that think like me personally. I don't think you get the best out of a woman when she's providing for you. It's just my opinion. It's just, this is why like a girl like this will go for a very, very, very attractive guy to compensate a lot of things. Because I feel like as a man, it's just natural for you to be providing. It puts you more in a masculine frame. And I feel like most girls are attracted to a man who is in his masculine and who is going to be dominant and assertive. And I feel like for a man to be dominant and assertive and confident, he has to be the provider. And for a girl to be feminine and receive a man's leadership, she needs to feel protected and provided for. So I feel like that's a dynamic that works for most people. Let's finish this video.
I think the thing is, for a man, looks are great, education is great, body, sex, whatever the female brings to the table, woman brings to the table.
Yeah.
What about peace? Can you bring a man peace? Because at the end of the day, if you don't bring him, no matter, at some point in time, it'll get so chaotic.
I'm going to be real with you.
That's what I want
It depends on the day of the week. I don't know if I bring somebody peace all the time.
God,
but I get, because who can? Come the hell on. Nobody is bringing nobody. I'm being real. I'm somebody you could trust.
Okay.
Because sometimes I might be too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at least I have some business to head to.
Yeah.
When I get on your nerves.
Right. Okay.
So I think, I'm realistic with what I expect.
Okay.
From people,
Yes.
from men and women.
Okay.
People gonna get on your nerves. And I use my parents as that example.
Right.
You don't get to 30 plus years without getting on somebody's nerves, without disappointing somebody, without hurting somebody's feeling, without growing through something, forgiving, loving, having compassion, understanding, and arriving at the place where you could say, I really love you.
Right. Keke,
the thing about the peace thing is that when a woman is the one that's providing, she's going to have a lot of opinions and she's going to argue with you a lot. So this guy, because he is being taken care of, is just going to have to suck it up. And I feel like that's not a very nice dynamic. I don't think women want to argue with men. And I think women trust the man when he's just showing that he's a provider and he can take care of it. They just tend to be in their feminine and not argue, just trust his leadership most of the times. But when she feels like she's taking care of you and she's the provider, she's protecting you, I feel like I don't know, it icks a lot of girls. This is just my opinion again. I'm not saying all girls, I'm saying some girls. You understand? I don't think naturally women are built to provide for men. I think women are built to take care of men, but not provide for them. Whereas men are more built to take care of women. You understand? So I think I believe in God. He created these things to be natural in people for a reason. I think women are nurturing by nature. Men are providers and protectors by nature. This is why we are bigger and stronger, to provide and protect, So the thing is just that when you are dating women who make more money than you, you're just going to have to accept that, she has opinions to give and you're going to have to argue a lot. So I think it's all about, well, as an adult, you make your choices. But if you've dated enough, I feel like you kind of know what comes with dating older women, what generally comes with dating younger women, what generally comes with dating girls that make more money than you. So if you have that spectrum and you've dated all of them, I feel like you have a general idea of what you want as a guy. I think for peace to be there in a relationship, a female needs to feel protected. She needs to feel provided for. And she's not going to argue with you when she feels she's a good leader who is leading her. And for a man to be happy in a relationship, he just wants a submissive woman who trusts his leadership. You know, are they toxic relationships? True. This is why my channel, I talk about choosing the right partners as well, in terms of character and all these other things, because we tend to mix these things. Just because a man is a leader doesn't mean he is being toxic. Just because we're talking of traditional leadership doesn't mean a man is being abusive, right? They are abusive men. These are separate things. If you choose an abusive man, he's going to lead you in an abusive manner. But there are good men who lead their women in a good, godly way. And there are men who are abusive, and they may be leaders in their homes, and they use the tools of providing to abuse the woman. The same way there are women who can use certain things to abuse the man. Laws, fake allegations, and all these other things. Leave toxic people alone. Let's not mix toxic people with certain principles that we feel like may be necessary in a relationship, because I feel like this thing is muddied, especially by feminists. They try to muddy all these things together. But nah, toxic people, let's leave that topic for another day. And then when it comes to dating dynamics, let's leave that separate on its own. I like your opinions. These were very based opinions that she gave. I feel like if more celebrities really opened up like this and told the truth, I think I would have a lot more fewer delusional women. Because at the end of the day, I feel like if a man is delusional, life is just gonna strike you, man. If a man is delusional to say, oh, I deserve a 10 and I deserve this, and you're the type of guy who can't get a 10, I feel like you quickly learn, because 10s are just not going to give you the time of day. So it's going to force you to get in the gym. It's going to force you to look for money. It's going to force you to do things. Whereas I think if you're an attractive woman, just because by virtue that guys are going to be attracted to you, rich guys are going to want to sleep with you, attractive guys are going to want to sleep with you, unattractive guys are going to want to give you attention, right? And even on Instagram and social media, getting all this attention, I think it blinds girls from seeing the world for what it is, because they have all these men lying to them. And these men are lying because they want to sleep with a girl. So they will date this girl for a couple of months. She moves on to another guy. She feels like she has all these options. And girls tend to mature. From what I've seen, they tend to mature in terms of what's really important in a man and what they should be choosing in a man. They tend to mature when they don't get that attention anymore, when they're older and the beauty has kind of faded. And now the guys that they want are going for younger girls who are more beautiful. So that's my video for today. I hope you've been entertained, and I hope you learned something. Through my next one, I'm out.